Hello everyone. Today's topic for discussion is from unit number 4, that is light color shading and hidden surfaces. In this unit, the previous part you must have seen related to coloring, then color models, how actually they are introduced and how they are used for different surfaces. That is the further part today we are going to see is related to the illumination model part from unit number 4. So let's start. The first topic for this unit, the first topic for this illumination model is, we'll start with introduction. First, I will tell you what is illumination model means. First of all, I will break the word illumination. Illumination means, or to illuminate means to light up or to brighten up a particular surface or a particular area. So the meaning of illumination means to lighten up or to light up. So in this topic, we are going to see everything related to light models. Okay, how lights are reflected, how they are presented on different surfaces, if these lights are fallen on a particular area or a particular region or any particular point, then what is the end result of that reflection. These all things we are going to see. So let's start now. Illumination models. In this in this figure, basically what is described, I will tell you. See, fundamentally lightning effects are described with models, okay, that consider the interaction with object surfaces. This interaction modifies the light in several ways. Once the light reaches our eyes, it gives signals to our perception process to decide what we have seen in actual scene, okay. But visual perception is a complicated process, so we will not go in the detail of that. What is told in these 2 points is that lightning effects are basically described with the models. Okay, now that models are described with the help of different object interaction surfaces. Okay, then once the light also reaches to our eyesight, it gives us signals. What type of signals? Whether the light is harsh, the color is bright, the color is dull. How is this decided? That we are going to see now in this below figure. See now what is given over here. Light energy is falling on a surface. Okay, now what kind of surface it can be? 1, 2 and 3 types of surfaces are given. That is, if a light falls on a surface, that is, that surface can be, or the light can be absorbed by the surface. First one. Second is, the light will be reflected by that surface. And the third is, the light is transmitted by that surface. Okay, they make an object, that makes an object visible. These are the 3 different terminations that are related to a surface, or we can say they basically describe the characteristic of a surface. If a light falls on a surface, it can either be absorbed, it can either be reflected, or it can either be transmitted. Okay, this is the form of a surface that deals with the, or that interacts with the light that is falling on it. Okay, now to the right side you can see there is sun. Okay, when the sun rays fall on the ground or on the surface, they are absorbed light. See, they are, that is, they produce heat. The surfaces that absorb the light, they produce heat. Then the surfaces that don't absorb the light, they are reflected, then they produce the light rays, they produce reflected light rays. And the surfaces that neither absorb the heat nor they are reflected, they are transmitted straight into the earth's what we say, in inner part of the ground. Okay, this is the meaning of illumination. Now we will see what it is telling us next. Here we concentrate on the location and qualities of the light. Very important part. The basic property that is related to illumination model is concentration on the location. That is, it matters the place, and also the quality of the light. Quality of the light means how harsh the light is, how soft and soothing the light is. For example, sun rays are very harsh, moonlight is very soothing. Then if the winter is foggy and even though there is sunlight, then that sunlight is also a bit soothing sunlight. That means the light is not harsh. This is nothing but quality of the light. Okay, So here we concentrate on the location and qualities of the light that fall on the objects and the way in which object interacts with it. Obviously, how the light falls on the surface, in that particular manner, the surface will interact with that light. Okay. A model for the interaction of light with a surface is called an illumination model. That is a very obvious point. A model for the interaction of light with a surface is called an illumination model. Illumination means to lighten up, and the surface that interacts with the light is called as an illumination model. Okay. Light plays an important part in the computer graphics for rendering the realistic images. Now, how it is, when you see the light effects, 3D effects, when you're watching a movie or when you're playing a video game or when you're doing any architectural designing views, what do you study? If lightning effects are given, then that particular image or that particular thing is getting more good quality effects. Okay, and it looks more realistic. So this light plays an important part in our CG. Then using lightning models, we can simulate shading. What new things we can do with the help of lightning models? We can simulate the shading, reflection and refraction of light comparable to what we see in the real world. All these things can go through with the help of lightning models. Now, object illuminates. The meaning is what? Any given object. That object can be anything: a car, a mirror, a pencil, a duster, a tree, any object, living or non-living, basically any object that illuminates on the following or the basic properties. What are those properties? Intensity of ambient light. Ambient light, what is the meaning of ambient light? I will tell you in the next slide, but just keep in mind what are the basic three important properties: intensity of ambient light, types of object surface, and the surface color. Very important three properties to be remembered or to keep in mind that are related to the illumination process. Intensity means how intensely the light is being passed, what type of surface that particular object is having, and also the color of the surface. Dark colors absorb more light and dull colors, they don't absorb more light, they are soothing to the eyes. So this is also a parameter to be taken into consideration while illumination or while illuminating the models. Then after that, local illumination refers to direct interaction with one light source and one object source. What do you mean by local illumination? Local means what? There is only one light source and one object source. That is called as local. And what is global? Global refers to interaction of light between all surfaces in a scene. Now, the best example for local illumination means a light bulb. That is blowing in a particular room. And global means what? The sun. Sun is the only point of source that is lighting up to all or the whole surface on the earth. Okay. And bulb is a single light source that is used to brighten up a single object or one object, or we can say whatever objects are present in that particular room. Okay. This is local and global. In global illumination, what is important point to remember? That responsible for shading, reflection between the surfaces, and refraction of surfaces. These shading, reflection and refraction is categorized under global illumination. Okay. Then the next is local illumination models. We'll just see a bit detail of this local illumination. In computer graphics, single object light interaction is approximated through local illumination models. Just remember, single light source and single object light interaction, this comes under local illumination. So there are three important components that are categorized under the local illumination, which are we are going to see. They are ambient reflection, diffuse reflection, and also specular reflection. These are the three important components of local illumination that we are going to study in detail. For every point or small surface area of an object, we want to calculate the light. Okay. Due to these three components. How you calculate or how you want to calculate the light, on what factors or on what basis you calculate the light, depending on these three important components, whether the light is ambient, whether the light is diffuse, or whether the light is specular. Next, now we have studied what do you mean by illumination, means to lighten up. What do you mean by illumination models? Means the models or the objects that produce light are called as illumination models. Then there are local illumination, there is global illumination. Then how actually is the light source, or what is the light source, we'll see. Many objects which are available in nature may produce or emit the light. This is a very obvious point. These objects are called as light emitting sources. I repeat again, there are objects in nature that are already available in nature that produce or emit the light by itself, okay, or through some other source. These light emitting or these light producing objects are called as light emitting sources. For example, sun, lamp and star. It is given in the below figure. Sun is producing its own light, a candle or a lamp is producing its own light, and a lamp is producing its own light. Though this lamp is having the support of electricity, if electricity is passed, then the lamp will glow. Also is the case with the lamp. If you burn that particular, or if you lighten up that particular candle, then only the light is produced, okay. But it is self illuminating, it is self producing power, okay. So these light emitting sources are further categorized as point source and distributed light source. These energy sources or these light producing sources are called as or categorized as point source and distributed. Point source means what? Producing light towards only a single point or to a concentrated point. And distributed light source means what? The light that is produced with the help of these light emitting sources can be in a distributed form, okay. When the surface of the object which we want to illuminate is bigger than the surface of light emitting source, then we are calling that light emitting source as a point source. See figure number B. When the surface of the object which we want to illuminate is bigger than the surface of light emitting source, that we are calling the light emitting sources as the point source. Figure number B is nothing but point source. Now, but when the surface of the light emitting source is greater, where you want to produce the light, that surface is greater than the surface of object, then we are referring it as distributed light source, okay. If the surface that we want to light up is greater, then which lightning source is preferred? Distributed light source. If the surface of the light that we want to light only a particular source, then only a single point is considered, okay. And if all objects are not emitting light, are grouped under a separate category which is called as light reflecting sources. Means what? This is a box, empty box or a filled up box. Is this box going to produce any light, or is it going to give you any illumination? No. If you press a torch, or if you glow the torch on this particular box, what this box will do? It will reflect the light. The meaning of this point is objects that are not emitting the light, they are grouped or categorized under the reflection or the reflecting source category. Then, when we try to produce realistic displays, we must consider this reflected light which is coming from all the directions, such as light which is reflected from walls, floor, ceiling, objects, inner room, etc. Now, is the wall producing light? No. Floor? No. Ceiling? No. Objects in a room? No. These are the objects that don't produce their own light. So they are categorized under, or they are produced realistic displays under the reflecting source of energy. So it means the surface which is not directly exposed to the light emitting source will still be visible because of light reflecting sources. For example, I will tell you over here, if there is a room, okay, you have on switch on the lamp, okay, and when you switch on the lamp, there is some objects kept in your room, like you can say stool or table or chair, etc. Okay, that don't produce their own light. But as soon as you switch on your bulb or switch on the light, what happens? The light falls on this wooden chair or any type of chair, and the light gets reflected back. So this means what? It is not directly exposed to the light emitting source, but still it is visible because of the light reflection category. This is the meaning of reflection category. So this light which is reflected from somewhere is called as the background light or ambient light. I hope now you have understood the meaning what is ambient light. Ambient light is nothing but a light that is produced with the help of a background light. See over here, the point will be more clarified. Ambient light means what? A surface that is not exposed to direct light may still be lit up by the reflections from other nearby objects. That is called as the ambient light. Now in this diagram, there is a bulb shown over here. This bulb, when I switch on the bulb, okay, it will pass the light to this object, not pass, or it will fall the light on this box. Similarly, the light will fall on this cylindrical object, and this is your eye, this is the viewer point, or this is the observer that you are watching. This light will fall on this cylindrical object. It will hit this object, it will reflect back. Okay, again this light from the bulb will come, travel down, hit the square, and again what it will do, it will hit towards your eye. Hit your eye means what? The reflection that is produced after hitting the particular object is making these objects visible to the particular viewer. So ambient light is nothing but a background light. In this, it is given a bit in detail. Ambient light refers to a general level of illumination that does not come directly from a light source. Okay, ambient light are those lights that do not come directly from the light source, rather they are produced with the help of background lights. It consists of light that has been reflected or re-reflected so many times that it is no longer coming from any other direction. A surface that is not exposed directly to a light source is still still will be visible if nearby objects are illuminated. As I told you in the previous PPT, the objects that are not exposed to direct light source will still be visible. Okay, then in our basic illumination model, we can set a general level of brightness for a scene. Okay, this is a simple way to model the combination of light reflections from various surfaces to produce a uniform illumination called the ambient light or background light. This will give a uniform illumination, or it will produce a uniform illumination. So this type of reflection from the sources or from the various surfaces is called as ambient light or background light. So ambient light has no spatial or directional characteristics. As the ambient light is a background light, so it will have no directional characteristics, that it will come perpendicular, it will be parallel, it has no such directions. The amount of ambient light that is incident means what? That is falling or that is projecting on each object, is a constant for all surfaces and over all directions. This is a very basic and very important point to remember in the ambient light section. That is, the ambient light is always distributed in an equal manner in all directions, and it is always constant. Okay, as the background light changes, the light source will also change its reflection value. Okay, ambient illumination is light that's been scattered so much by the environment that its direction is impossible to determine. See, background light is produced, okay, so it is scattered in the environment, okay, and so it is impossible to determine the direction, that exactly from which direction it is coming. It seems to come from all directions. See, this is a very important part, that is the figure. incoming ambient light, this is the object surface, it is coming in a constant manner from all the directions. Okay, when it hits the particular surface, what is the result? The result is this particular object surface is producing the or it is reflecting the incoming ambient light in a distributed manner in a constant way in all directions. Okay, then the next point is modeling the ambient light. Now ambient light means what? Relate a light that is related or that is produced from the background. It is constant, it is distributed equally in all directions, it has no particular direction, that is the light source from where exactly the light source is coming, it is not determined. So how is this calculated or how is this line modeled? It is done in the following way. As ambient light is independent of the surface orientation and viewer location, so it can be derived as, very important point, ambient light is independent of the surface. No matter how the surface is, whether the surface is soft, grainy, rough, whatever may be the surface, no matter, that is the ambient light or the background light is independent of that surface. And also, no matter the viewer or the observer is present at the fifth floor, or he is present at the first floor, or he is present on top of a building, no matter, means the location and the surface orientation is independent in this ambient light section. Okay, then how it is derived? It is derived as IAMB, that is I ambient is equals to Ka dot Ia. Here Ka is the percentage of the light that is reflected by the object. Whatever is the light that is reflected by a given particular object is denoted with Ka. Okay, and Ia is the ambient intensity light, means how intensely the background light or how intensely the ambient light is coming. Okay, Ia is the uh, ambient intensity light. Now the next is diffuse reflection. This we will see in the for next part. Thank you.